Hi, I'm Laura from Ontario Business Central. Today I'm with Hong from Anotherland Coffee. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Laura.
So tell me all about starting your business.
I first came to Canada as an international student like 15 years ago. And during the university years, I really like going to local coffee shops. I still remember there's a coffee shop I go to and I kind of just sit there. And then after like a month or so, they start to asking my name. They remember my orders. And that really made me feel like I belong here. Like, oh, someone remembers me even though I'm coming from a different part of the world. And I just keep going back to the same coffee shop. I still remember that kind of feeling. That's kind of inspired me to get to know coffee more. And I really love this industry, even though 15 years after, I still love every day what I do.
So you've got a lot of passion for coffee.
Yeah, and also for service as well, like hospitality.
You said to us that each guest is
A connection is not a transaction. That's how I feel, and that's how I want people to feel when they come into my coffee shop. They're just coming to their friend's house, having a coffee, and they're supporting my dream. We really care about each other. It's feel like more than a business transaction.
it's more like a community.
Yeah, it is.
So how did you come up with the name Anotherland?
So originally it's from a song from Rolling Stone. It's very unknown, and I just kind of scrolling for inspiration, and this really caught my eye. And also I kind of want when people come into the door, they feel like they're on another land, and we are all from different land of the world, especially like in Toronto. It's like such a immigration country, and so we all coming from another land to another land. So I kind of like the idea.
I think that's wonderful.
Thanks.
So when you started the business, what was one of the biggest challenges?
Definitely how to source for the funding, because I have the passion, the knowledge, the experience.
How did you get funding?
So I did talk to different banks and investors, but at the end, I kind of decide to just use my own saving and some family loans, and then max out the credit cards and take advantage of line of credits and things like that.
It's scary, right? Starting a business is scary.
Yeah, it could be, but I know what kind of feeling or business I'm going to do. So I intentionally keep the scale small and the rent minimum. And I know in the beginning I don't need to hire anyone. I intentionally choose somewhere kind of central but a little hidden because it's on the second floor. So our rent is actually just a third of what people will pay on the main floor. And this way I can spend my energy just to focus on making connections to the people who coming through our door.
Now, do you do advertising?
Very minimum. At the beginning, we don't have too much budget on that. So we really rely on word of mouth. And up until today, 6 years later, first customers who coming through the door still coming every day.
That's great. So tell us about your coffee. I understand that after getting your education in Canada, you went back to China and you worked for a coffee company.
So I work for a specialty coffee company there, and then I run for their coffee educational program. There I get to learn coffee knowledge from the industry experts. So I feel like I understand coffee at a different level. I always tell our customers, you spend $7 in a latte at a specialty coffee shop, majority of the money is traceable. We purchase the coffee and then we work with roasters that work directly with the farmers. We are making a world a better place by just making the daily purchase. And rather than a lot of big chain of coffee company, they spend majority of their money on the advertising and also paying their multi-million dollar CEOs. We don't have that kind of expense in our industry. So a lot of the money you're spending, you can trace it. It's very sustainable, very traceable.
So it's almost like the farm to house.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you have employees now?
Yeah, we do now.
And how was that transitioning from just working by yourself to bringing on others?
It feels very natural. We never put out any advertisement saying we're hiring. All the staff there are our customers or friends or some of my students. So they learn coffee from me and I can see their passion. And then when we have the needs of adding additional staff, I just ask them if they're interested. Our baristas are able to know almost every customers and their family and their dogs. So it's like a very like a happy place for everyone.
Now, your store doesn't just make coffee. You also have other things that you offer the community.
So we do coffee workshops as well, and we do coffee tasting. And a lot of people, they can tell the difference by the taste of the coffee. It's different from the commercial coffee shops. So they want to know more. We used to do public coffee tastings for people to join on Saturdays. And we also do latte art workshops as well.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and a lot of people start to realize how good coffee tastes different from the coffee they used to drink.
So it's sort of like wine tasting.
Exactly.
The traditional wine tasting, except
for it's coffee.
For coffee.
Yeah.
Have you thought about franchising?
A lot of people ask me that. That's something I don't really want to get into. And part of the things I do is I teach people about coffee and a little bit about how to run a coffee business. So I want them to be able to create the kind of community, the coffee shop that truly theirs, not just copying me. So that's something I do as well, the coffee mentorship program.
So if somebody's watching and is thinking about starting a business, can you think of 3 words that you would convey to that person about starting a business?
I would say definitely passion is something will keep you going every single day. The second thing would be profession. You need to be professional and knowledgeable of what you're doing. You need to know better than your staff and your customers. And then the third thing is consistency. I know sometimes it's hard to get things going at the beginning, and then it could take up a lot of energy, time, and money. But a lot of people don't realize is after the things get going, you need to consistently
Produce the same thing.
Exactly.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
Have you thought about your legacy?
I feel like we are the first specialty coffee shop in North York, where I lived for a long time as an international student. And I feel like there's no coffee shop like this before. I feel there should be more people like me needing this kind of environment. But no one seems to want to be the first one. They were like, oh, there's no coffee shop there for a reason.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. What would you like people to take away from your experience?
I would say be true to yourself and do things that will make you happy every day, and then you can think about repeating it for the next 10 years, 20 years. When you think about it, it will still be smiling and looking forward to it. Right. And that's the kind of day and life you want to create for yourself. And then the people will follow.
Oh, well, that's great. So what's your life-work balance like?
I feel like I don't really have work. It's just life.
You go into the coffee shop in the morning.
Yeah, I feel like I'm charging myself for my kids. Yeah, so I have energy to go home and face my 5-year-old boy and 3-year-old girl.
So do you go back and forth where, you work the morning and then you go home early to spend time with your kids?
Yeah. And then now I am able to schedule myself for the weekend off and holidays.
That must be really nice.
Our staff is really great, and I can trust them with my first baby. I always said to them, like, my coffee shop is my first child.
Yes. That never grows up. It may change, but it never grows up and leaves a nest, right? Most business owners consider themselves to be, I guess, jack of all trades. What do you hand over to other people to take care of for you?
Taxes.
Yes.
Something that you need to be very careful, and I'm terrible at it. So I trust a professional.
How do you deal with the expenses?
So now everything is digital. No one uses cash anymore, so that makes it way easier than it used to be. I use a software called Wave. You can link all your bank accounts and credit cards, and then it generates all the reports by itself. At the end of the year, I send it to my tax person and accountant, and he takes care of that.
So Hong, how do you source your coffee?
For me, my biggest shopping passion is to buy coffee beans even before I open the coffee shops. I always keep updated with the industry, what's the new variety, what's the new trend on roasting, what's the new roasters out there. But I do want to keep it as local as possible. I'm happy to share their passion as well to our community. Even though our coffee retail shop has at least 20 different coffee beans, I feel I know every single one of them really well.
Do you import coffee?
No, we work with roasters that are Canadian-based.
Okay.
Yeah, but they import coffee beans, the green coffee from different countries.
Okay, so you deal with basically a Canadian distributor who does a heavy lifting of importing into Canada.
Yeah, it's a whole different game.
Have you thought about having a roaster?
No, I don't. In the coffee lab I used to work at in China, we do teach coffee roasting. We hire roasters to teach the course. And I attend one of the class, and it's too much science behind it. I'd rather spend my time in a cafe making coffee, meeting people.
Just like you don't want to bake the cake. You just want to sell the deliciousness to people.
Exactly.
So you started in 2019, and I believe you started your business with Ontario Business Central. What was your experience with us?
It's great. I thought I knew business, but actually when I started, I feel there are so many things I don't know. I see my blind spot, but Ontario Business Central really provides the kind of structure and mentorship that really helps me to navigate, even with the bookkeeping, the taxes, and the marketing. I can be able to run on the more balanced way.
That's
great.
It's
more smooth.
So Hong, how has the business transformed over 6 years?
As you know, we chosen a very special time of history. 6 months after we opened, the pandemic starts. So I feel I have restarted business over and over again to adapt to different rules from the government. And then finally, a couple years ago, everything feels like back to normal. But then the economy is really bad. People losing jobs, they don't have money to spend. And so we decided after COVID, we don't take tips anymore. That's kind of our loyalty program, because we don't really have like a stamp card points system, but we want to show our appreciation for people who come support our small business.
So you also have baked goods? It sounds like?
Yeah.
Do you source those or do you make them?
I used to source them, but after 2 pregnancy, I have gestational diabetes. So I need to be very careful with how much sugar and carbs I take. And so I start to experience with healthier baking. I start to bake more and more for our customers and for the store. And people seem to really like it.
Good for you.
Yeah, I like to know all the ingredients in there because I'm the biggest customer to myself.
Yeah.
I love sweets. But it's really hard to source good ingredients and lower sugar kind of desserts.
That's great. So Hong, it was so nice meeting you.
It's nice to meet you.
I had a great conversation with you. I am going to come to your coffee shop. I can't
anytime.
wait to try specialty coffee. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.